Hi Moonhackers, welcome to today's Code Along. This project that we're doing today is called Party Mix DJ. We're going to use a microbit to be able to create some fun music. This year Moonhack is celebrating its 10th birthday and we're so excited that you are here to celebrate with us. Let's jump into the project. We're going to be using the microbit MakeCode website to be able to create the code. Whether you have an actual microbit to download this onto or you're just going to use the virtual editor, either way is fantastic. So let's add a new project. Let's give it a name, partymixbit. You'll notice that there are two blocks on the screen to start up with. We are actually going to use both of these, but I'm just going to move the on start over to the side as we are starting with that forever block. Our first job is to add in a logic loop of if true then and drop it inside that forever one. Here what we're going to do is to list a whole bunch of different music loops that are going to be used within the project. To start us off, we need to create a variable that we're going to call music. This variable is going to be able to link each of the tunes that we have with a number. From your logic menu, we are going to drop in a comparison. Our comparison needs to be an equals one, but really take note that there are two different ones here. There's the first one at the top that will take a numerical value, and there's ones down the bottom here that will take a string or words. We need the numerical value, so make sure you do select that top comparison one. On the left, we're going to go back to our variables menu and we're going to select that music variable. So if the variable for music is equal to 1, we want it to play a melody. From the music section, we are going to choose a melody. Now, I know this top one here says melody. This is where we can create our own or do some really simple ones. We're actually going to scroll down all the way to the bottom to the melody advanced section and drag this block across. In here, if we choose the drop-down menu, we've got lots that we can choose from, and I am going to choose the birthday melody. I don't want it to play in the background. I want it to play until done. We are actually going to create another set of if-then branching blocks from here. So let's click the plus button down the side. We're going to add quite a few on, so we'll press that a few times to be able to go all the way down. So I like to work easy, so I'm going to duplicate our Boolean logic here. If the music equals 2, I'm also going to duplicate this block and drop it in. Oh, play music. And instead of playing birthday this time, I'm going to choose something else. I might choose, what's going to sound good as a DJ song, funk music. Our job now is to create 4 or 5 of these so that our DJ microbit is going to have some music to select from. Again, I'm going to duplicate that Boolean logic. This time it's going to be when 3 is the one selected. Drop in another bit of music. I might go with blues. I need to create a 4th one as well, making sure I change the number. So we're associating that number to the piece of music. And this time I might choose Chase. Why not? Okay, so if you're like me and got a little bit excited and you've got extra ones here and you don't need them, you can simply take that away until you have your lovely selection of music here ready to go. We are going to almost recreate this similar block, but this time it's going to be a beat that is going to go, not an actual melody. Let's go into our basic tools and select another forever block and drop it in. Scroll my screen out a little bit. It's getting a bit big. Okay. We're going to go through the exact same process again. So from my logic menu, we'll grab that if true then. In here, we are going to drop that Boolean logic. This time though, it's all about the beat. So in the variables, let's create a new variable called beat. So now if the beat is equal to 1, and to find those beats, we'll go back into our music and we are going to select a beat. So if I scroll down again, we can see this one here, the play has got like a squiggle until done. Let's drop that one in here. So these, if I go in to explore them a little bit, are just different kinds of sounds or effects that we can use. So you can go in here and create your own, or we can jump into the gallery where it's already got some and you can test them. So imagine this repeating in the background being a beat behind a song. So I want you to choose the ones that you think are going to work really well for yours. And again, we want until done at the end. So just like before, we had 4 pieces of music. Here we want to be able to have 4 beats that we can choose from. And again, we are going to create those 4 different options. Number 2, so my first one was the jump. I want something, I'm going to add a kick drum. Really important to remember to change each of the numbers. These are going to be used shortly, so we want to make sure that none of them have the same number, otherwise the program will get very confused about what to do. And again, this is your program. You might have more, you might have less. That's up to you. You can decide how many you want to have that are going to create you as a party DJ. Oh, a hi-hat, that sounds great. All right, once again, I got a bit excited here with all my extras, so I'll just take those away. So now I've got 4 different music tunes that are going to play, and I've got 4 different beats that are going to play as well. Now is when we get to use that on start button. So on start, in our variables menu, we're going to set our beat to number 1, and we are also going to set our music to 1. And suddenly I've got music and a beat playing. I'm going to click stop. Okay, so you can see it's got those 2 things playing at the same time because we have now set both of them to number 1, and number 1 is the one being played. If we were to leave the program as it is right now, it would just be number 1 that would play over and over again. We want whoever is using the microbit to be able to change the music and change the beat. Let's start by adding in some input. Let's grab the on button pressed. So when button A is pressed, it's going to control the music side of things. The very first thing we want to have happen when button A is pressed is that all sounds stop. Up here, the music played until done. So if somebody pressed the button, that music would keep playing even though the new one has begun. So we actually want to stop that music from playing. Then when button A is pressed, we also want to be able to change the music by 1. So if I've started mine, I've got my birthday melody playing, but I want to change that and I press button A, melody will stop and it will then go into the melody funk. Pressed again, it will stop, it will go into blues. So we're going through the numbers. When it gets to here, and if we're playing melody chase and they press the button, the variables will naturally go to 5, but I don't have music for 5. So we're going to add some code here to tell it what to do once it gets to more than 4. we're going to go into our logic and grab the if-then branching block and back into our Boolean logic. If it's going to be greater than. So if our music variable is greater than, let's swap it over to the other side, 4. So if it hits 5, 6, 7, we're going to tell it to set the music back to number 1. So once it hits 4, press the button, it will naturally go to 5, but that's greater than 4, so it will set it back to number 1. We need to do the same for our beats. We'll grab an input of when button A is pressed. It's going to grey out because it knows it can't have 2 things, but once we change that to B, it's going to swap over. The beats are very small, so we don't need a stop all button here. What we will do from the variables is that we are going to change beat by 1. And the same condition that we had for the music is going to happen for the beat. So I'm actually going to duplicate that block and drag it across. I'm going to remove music though, because I don't want the music variable here. I want the beat variable. If the beat is more than 4, I'm going to set the beat back to 1. Now, if I run my code, I can change the music. I can also change the beat. Ooh, nice. We also want to be able to control the tempo a little bit because sometimes that beat might not match the tempo. From our input menu, we are going to grab the on shake button. I'm not going to use shake though because that won't quite work. What we are going to use is tilt left. Jump back into the music menu and we will grab the block that says change tempo. If we have tilt left, we're going to change the tempo by 30. I'm going to duplicate that whole block there. I'm going to do tilt right and let's go minus 30. Now, if I am to play my code, I'm going to go back to my second one. You can hear that tempo slow down. And now we have a completed project. Now that our microbit is programmed to become our DJ, we can take this to a party and create some music. These projects are designed as a way to get you inspired and innovated to create. So I'm really excited to see how you extend and change this project. Perhaps you're going to jump into some different sounds, some different beats. You're going to create your own. You might even find ways to change the volume. You might link it up with some lights. Who knows? Get creative, have some fun with it, and make sure you share your projects back with us here at Moonhack headquarters. It has been so fun coding with you today. I hope you have the most amazing project and you've learnt something new along the way. Happy coding, everyone.